Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Studio Insights. You've got the Belvista Studios team here. We've got Victoria, myself, Hannah, and we've got Kim. So we're super excited to get into another episode where we learn from each other, get value from what each other is doing, and learn to be better practitioners. Before we get into the episode, if you are an instructional designer or e-learning developer, please check out our Creator Hub. There are so many amazing resources on there that will help you improve what you do and just make your life a lot easier. So check it out in the link below. But let's get into the episode. Victoria, would you like to ask the first question?
Yes, my question is for Kim. So a little while ago, we all got together as a team and had a bit of a meeting / chat type of thing. And we just kind of reflected on like a few things that had happened recently individually and like to us as a team. And talked about like different expectations that we wanted to set moving forward that might improve like how we all work together and how we run and all of that. I just wanted to ask you, like, as the leader who brought us all together to like have that conversation, and then since then, like how do you like, have you seen improvement, and like what are the benefits do you think of doing something like that? Or good question.
Yes.
Just talk about that.
It is very important to do it as a leader. I think people don't prioritize the time enough. So I guess there's a couple of triggers that allow me to go, it's time to prioritize that. For example, talking about the same thing over and over, whether it's a pain point or the lesson not getting through, the message not getting through, like repeated, consistent questions of the same thing coming up, pain points, things not feeling right, and also observing things in you guys, like maybe body language or I want to say where you're at as a person, but I don't know how to like figure that out. I think a bit of it is body language, might be comments that you bring up, might be conversations that we have. They're kind of like red flags to me that we need to like prioritize the time to check in as a team. And sometimes we have done things like that in the past where I'll say like prep in advance, like let me know things that are coming up for you guys along those lines, and I'll do the same. And then we just create the space as a team to have that conversation. And we do dedicate team priority time every Wednesday, which is about 3 hours to either have conversations like this or to work on things for us as a team, whatever that might be. So sometimes it is, how can we improve as a team? We spend the time having a conversation, discussion, or we build processes and improvements into things. So that's where it comes from. And I think we have to do that regularly as a team, like just with people, you need to prioritize to check in and see where they're at. And then since that conversation, so it's probably been in place now 3 months. So I think that's enough time for that to be communicated, because we all had things to communicate and expectations of things that we needed to take action on to make the lives of each of us easier. So we've had the time to kind of experiment, get it wrong, not quite get it right, forget to do it because it's new to us, then build the habit over time and recalibrating. So reminding each other, like we spoke about this, like it's here, whatever it is, until that habit's built. And then now it's in a time where it should be habitual. I'd say we're probably, there's definitely a lot of improvements from the things that made me want to bring that up in the first place, and hold the space for that conversation from my personal employee experience. I feel the benefits of it. So number one was like, there was collective things, there was things I needed to do and change. And then there was things that I needed help from you guys as well, just from my own personal experience. And the team as well, like helping us as a team. I can't talk for your own experiences, but I think what I'm very grateful for and what we're really lucky is that when we bring things up, we are open to hearing that, and just the work ethic and the types of people that we are, we really embrace it and we take action on it. Like the respect and trust is there. So it just needs to be floated, because we don't know what we don't know. And then you guys go and try your best. I try my best, and we do that, which is amazing. It's fucking half the battle probably for most people. So the results of that is, like, for me, things are, my personal experience that stemmed it in the first place was I was feeling stressed. I felt like I didn't have the capacity to be available to give you guys the support that you needed. I was very like task orientated, starting to sway a lot into reactiveness, not being able to coach as much or give you as much development time or share the why. I felt like I was being very directive, just like, here's the answer, or you need this, or just do it this way. And I wasn't able to be in that coaching space to help you understand, so that you could then take that decision making for future things. I feel like we're making less mistakes. We don't make a lot of mistakes, but like any kind of tiny little bit of friction for me is like, needs to be rectified, but that's a personal values thing. So I'd say less mistakes. I feel like I've noticed you guys probably are having a better experience. Things have become easier for you. You probably feel a bit more confident in what you're doing. Not that you didn't have confidence before, but I think it's probably gone to the next level. You're trusting yourselves a lot more, seeing efficiencies, seeing better work, I think, as well. I already obviously think you're great, and I'm great as well. That's where I was going to go. Sorry, I was going to say, I was already really proud of what we were producing, and think that we are a great team, amazing, incredible team, and the work that we do is amazing and incredible as well. But I feel like whatever triggered that conversation created more space for creativity, and to execute on lots of the discussions that we've had over like 6 months or even a year, where it created the opportunity for you guys to not be reactive in yourselves. And that space has allowed us to go next level in the solutions that we're creating. And I know, like, we are particularly proud of 3 projects that we're kind of just at the end of delivering at the moment. And the client feedback for them has been phenomenal, with them writing like capital letters, like love. And I'm going into a lot of detail because for listeners, I know we've had these team conversations as well. But I think that is a direct, for me, link to creating the space to have that conversation, reestablishing some boundaries and expectations, allowing you guys to know what those boundaries and expectations, and to set them for yourselves as well with the rest of the team, and the way that you work personally for your own selves. That space has then directly resulted in us being better versions of ourselves, producing better results, and we're seeing the feedback from that as well. So that's the benefits, absolutely, to do it.
Yeah, I definitely agree with all of that as well. Like everything you set up, just like the
me too.
benefits from it. And it's like a lot easier. Things that seem to be going like a lot smoother now. Not that there was any like massive friction or like massive issues before, but it's just like tiny little changes, I think, have made a difference with like our communication. Like it all impacts everything.
Definitely.
Agreed. Any specifics you would share on that to help probably reinforce me to keep doing that when it's needed, and also to help other people prioritize it, because the benefits are fucking amazing.
Yeah. I don't know, I feel like it was just like having that conversation, like we gave ourselves permission to do certain things, like if someone messages you and you're not like available right then, like letting them know when you can, that you're busy, but you can do it, instead of like taking on the stress of trying to help them and get other stuff done. Just like little things like that you might have thought were not that big of a deal, like you might just be a bit stressed one day, but like if you don't have to be, then why would you? If you can just like respond and everyone's on the same page that's okay to do, like little things like that. I think can make a difference, because you don't get that like overwhelming stressed feeling when you're and someone needs help, because you've already set all those expectations.
Yeah.
I don't think what else we have. Can you think of stuff?
I think it is just like how we work as a team. Like we set boundaries and expectations that helped us work better together. And I've definitely noticed a difference in that. Like it feels like a lot more calm, and I definitely feel a lot more confident. Like I'm more proud of what work we're producing. And I think it's because we're all working sort of cohesively. And so it's just like you said, if there are little like barriers, or like you're feeling stressed about something, to like talk about it, bring it up and come up with a solution, because it can impact your overall experience so much. So even though it's like a small thing, it can build up and lead to you to like not enjoying what you do anymore, or not delivering to the standard that you would expect of yourself. So I think it is really, really important to address it, just let it go.
I think that's probably one of the big things actually, that now that you shared that, it's brought it up for me, is that there were many little tiny things that were time consuming, such as typing in Skype or whatever it was to each other about certain things. So we've just got a bit more concise about how we communicate in those messages, so you're not having to type for ages, because the typing is like so much thinking. Does the other person going to interpret this in the way that I need it, that I get the thing that I need for my project? All of that I felt was unnecessary stress and time. Probably not stress so much, but just time consuming. Those little messages and then conversations back and forth like that meant that it was eating into for potentially a full day client task. And that's where it became a bit more stressful. Whereas now what we're tending to do is saying, instead of writing back and forth in message, we're saying, I'm not available right now. However, I've got time at this time. Let's jump on a quick 10-minute call. We're getting the answers to our questions that way. And it's compartmentalized time. We're able to go back off and do things. And I think that change is creating space for us so that it feels more peaceful. Even that's been a huge thing personally for me.
Agreed. Love that. I think like the way we communicate with each other, like we understand, it's like we don't, well, for me personally, I feel like I don't take things personally, and the person I'm communicating to don't take it personally if you say like I have a client task that I can't do now. And I feel like more comfortable to like say like that's for me right now, and I know it's not me being rude, it's just like because we all know like what's going on for each other, like we're aware of what's happening in each other's calendars and that we're not lazy people, like we are always working as hard as we can, so it's a personal thing. Because like an example was, I think I was doing a handover for you for one of your projects, and I only had a certain amount of time left, and then you're like, can you jump on this meeting and help me with something? And in the past I probably would have said yes, and then been like, oh my god, I'm not going to get this handover done, and been stressed. But I was like, me to do the handover or the meeting, like what would you rather out of the two? Because like
love that.
And then Victoria was able to say like, do that one first, and only if we have time. Like just that sort of communication, which can like just stop like missing deadlines, unnecessary stress. Because Victoria wouldn't have known that I only had that certain amount of time left and I was still going. So it's just like communication. I think is so important.
Definitely. One other thing that's coming to mind actually that is really helping, which I haven't shared with you guys, is I'm really rigid with my calendar, and I have specific time of like working on the business or certain things that I'm doing, that I've prioritized that time to make sure that I'm not on client tasks, because the minute I go into client tasks, I get too into it and it consumes me, and then I'm like, what next? So what what I communicated at that point was, I knew from a business perspective, I wasn't getting the time. I kept getting either interrupted, or client tasks were getting booked over that time that was important for us as a business to prioritize. And that meant I needed to specifically do certain tasks that have to be done as a business owner or as a leader. And I asked you guys not to contact me during that time, because my automatic thing is then I want to make sure you're okay. I want to make sure the project's okay. I get caught up in it. Then even when I've handed it over, my brain is kind of ticking, going, did I give them that context? Or here's something else they might want to consider. So that was impacting my ability to deliver on what I needed to do. And since being able to have that time where client tasks aren't being booked over that time, or you guys are respecting and only messaging at 1 p.m. when I'm back in available, that's been really, really helpful for me. I feel like that allows me to be more peaceful, because I know that's the number one priority task for us to exist as a business and to keep existing. And I do get stressed if I'm not getting that time to do that. So I know that's helped me, because that stress, it's the first thing on a Monday, can carry on through the rest of the week, because then I know I don't have time in the rest of the week to make up for it. It's another week that I will have, like, that it plays out. I'm like, well, I can only do this next Monday, as per my schedule, because I'm pretty booked. And then that just means like I'm stressed. I'm like, fuck, I didn't do that. And I know that's the key thing that's essential for us surviving and thriving as a business. And I know it plays out in how I show up, how I communicate, how I deliver on my tasks, all that sort of stuff. So I know I personally feel more peaceful and available and giving better outputs to what I'm responsible for as a result of you guys respecting that boundary. So yeah, I really appreciate that. That's been really helpful.
Cool.
Nice. Yeah, thanks for chatting.
Oh, good.
Anyone would like to add, or is that closed off, that one?
Keep doing it.
Yeah, definitely.
And also, it shouldn't just be driven by me. It should, if you guys are feeling that as well, which I feel like we are good at anyway. Like if something's, you guys will bring it up, seek help, or say this needs to change. But I definitely encourage you guys to don't just wait for me, because all of us don't see all of the things that are going on for each other. So just flag it and create the space. And we do have that team priority time specifically for making sure that there's space in our project schedule time.
Cool. All right, well, I might ask the next question because it is a little bit similar. It's like another question that would be useful for leaders, I think. I just wanted to know, so I was reflecting before about, so Victoria and I are quite different in personality. Like I'm quite extroverted.
What do you mean?
And I'm just wondering, like, as a leader, how do you like figure out do you adjust your style for your team members to get the best out of them? And just like, what's your strategy for that, and how has it helped you?
I think because we're in the industry, if anyone is curious about this, it's about applying instructional design. So what is the most effective and efficient way to solve the problem is the way I think about it. I definitely do adjust for both of you. You have different needs, different
Annoying though, so they make up all of mine.
And also my understanding of myself helps that. I think that awareness of myself has helped me empathize better with what your needs are. Because, for example, if I ever am triggered or there's friction for something that comes from you guys to me, I am then like, oh, like this isn't working, or do it my way or something like that. That's not exactly what goes through my mind. I'm trying to think of I can't think of an example. But if I feel discomfort, or if something's not working for me because of whatever, my first step is, why do I feel that way? And I'm like, is it the way it was communicated? Is it that they haven't given me what I need? Did I communicate what I needed from them in the first place? How were they meant to know? I feel like that piece there has been really key for me to go, well, if this is happening for me in response to you guys, it's very highly likely happening for you as well. And I'd say it's probably even more heightened for you guys because I am so aware of my needs and my way of working, and also it's my business, so a lot of things have been set up to first of all prioritize me and then you guys. So, and also like it has to be that way, because otherwise, like, it's my responsibility as a business owner, as a leader, to have that awareness and those structures in place, because I've got the experience longer than you and wider than you. And only because of like me being the business owner and choosing this, right? So it's not in a corporate, it might be different, or in different situations, but I'm just saying that's our kind of, I have to have it that way as the owner and the experience that I have. So if that's happening for me, then it has to be happening for other people, and that would be you guys. So then that awareness in myself of why is it happening, what might I need to do differently next time, again prioritizing the time to minimize that friction or discomfort or thing that's not working. So then I'm thinking, okay, well, do it for the girls as well, because it's important. Make sure that if you have a funky like funny expression on your face, read into that and know what is that. And if I don't know, sometimes I do know because there's been patterns over time and we've had conversations, so I know that's that face and that's what that means. But sometimes I don't know, so then I seek to understand and I say, what's going on for you there? Or it seems like you've got something still unsaid. What is it? You know, so I allow the space for that. I don't just brush on. And I think it's very important to know, I guess the motivation is key. Like if I think about the motivation, it stems from, I'm in a job that I personally love and I don't want it to be anything else. Secondly, I'm in a job doing, and that includes the work that we do, and the lifestyle and all that we've set up for ourselves. Second of all, I'm in a job with people that I really like and I respect, and I don't want to have to replace, right? From their choice, which is okay, but also like I would never want the replacement of you guys to be a result of inaction of something that was within my control. So knowing that that's so high a priority makes me be very conscious of what's important to you guys personally and professionally. And you know that I do these things, I'll probably expose a lot of them now, and I'll be like, oh, my little magic secret missions are exposed. But I ask you guys, number one, like we have catch-ups every week, and sometimes you guys are like, I don't have anything this week, and I'm like, doesn't fucking matter. We have to have the conversation because we need to have the sense check. I need to know where you're going. And sometimes you guys you're like, I don't have anything. And then we end up going over the catch-up time because there was something you just didn't know to express it, or whatever it was, or it was harder than you were probably thinking in your head and it needed the time. So hold on, I'm trying to link back to the conversation that I've been having and specific to the question that you're asking. Yeah, so motivation. So therefore I need to know your motivations, but that's personally and professionally. I need to know what's happening in your life. if you're moving house and things like that, you have different priorities. Flexibility in time is important to you because maybe you can only get the removalist on a weekday and you want to be able to schedule, I've got to schedule projects, or you guys are scheduling projects, but this is a high priority in your life. Moving house is a big deal, you know. Something might be going on in your personal lives that means that you don't have emotional, mental, physical capacity to show up 100% in work, not for your own fault. Creating the space and being okay with the space to reward you in that way, because first of all, you deserve it, and work's not the only thing that our lives exist around. So being able to think, I don't want them to ever go, I don't have flexibility in my job for something that's way more important than a job. But if your job accommodates things that are more important to you, then that's a win from my perspective and totally within our control. And then what's important to you as employees as well. So it goes through ebbs and flows of like, I'm learning right now. Now I'm executing on what I'm learning. Now I'm great at what I was learning. And you go through that all the time. And so sometimes you need more nurturing than other times, and you're not always on the same level of that. Sometimes one's in the expert position of the thing that they're learning, so you can step back and give them more space and not have to check in as much. But then sometimes something's really new to another person or one of you guys, and there is lots of phone calls, lots of conversations, lots of development, coaching, all of that. So I think it's not necessarily personality even there, it's just where is the human at and what do they need right now so that they're okay. Because when they're okay as a human, they thrive in their work, they thrive in the work that they're producing, they're thriving as a colleague, as a friend. There's many benefits to the world, you know, as well. Like when you show up and pick up your coffee, you might smile at that person, that makes their day because you're happy in your job. So I think all that's important. And then if you go down to personality wise, it's if you take that link all the way down as a waterfall to specific to personality, yeah, 100%, because it goes back to, I have a personality and I'm aware of when our personalities, both of you, might cause friction, not in a negative way, because we wouldn't work together if it was like highly negative, you know, or even bad. But like my communication style is very to the point, specific. I need little information, but on the other scale of it is like needing a lot of context and a lot of why, which I'm like, I don't care about the why. If I need the why, I'll get there through my communication style. So if I have that awareness around me, and when it causes me pain or pleasure, I'm aware that that exists for you guys as well. And I hate pain, so I don't want to put you guys through pain either. So then I go, when I'm communicating to you guys, or when I'm giving you time, more or less, or I'm giving you tasks, specific tasks over another, I'm very aware of how might this cause pain to either Hannah or Victoria. How can I minimize that pain within my control for you? That's how it all plays out.
Wow.
Fucking complex, but it is worth it, I believe.
Yeah.
Well, actually, you guys would have to, from my perspective as a leader, as a teammate, as a friend, as a business owner, it is very important.
Yeah.
And I reap the benefits of spending that much time investing on doing that for you guys.
Yeah.
You could share your experience and reflections on that.
Yeah, I do feel like if I am considered as a human and what is important to me, and if I'm feeling happy, I definitely produce much better work. Like I know if I've got something personal going on and I'm like really busy with work at the same time and I can't like manage it all, the results of my work are like it's definitely a pattern. Like it won't be as good and I'll get back feedback. Even if I'm not like aware of it, it definitely has happened in the past. So I think like being happy, comfortable, or not necessarily comfortable, but like being healthy, happy having enough energy is like so important to doing a good job. And I think all the things that you said does definitely contribute to those things. What do you think?
Well, the only thing I'm stuck on is I'm just thinking, like, because I've just started project managing, do like my calendar invites or send any information to you guys. I always think like, what do I need? I'm not thinking like
selfish.
task.
Well, me too. I do that too.
I don't think to go like, oh, well, Hannah would want
more. Tell me everything.
Maybe more information. Like I do just think, what would I need to do this task? Whereas like you're saying, you think about like, you know, that we might want more or less information, and you kind of like adapt.
Yeah, I would say in that instance, it doesn't really play out though, Vic, now, because it's something that's been in place for a while through many iterations and lessons learned to get it to that point. So the brief that you do has been through me doing the task over multiple years, Hannah doing the task over multiple years, and also the fact that we know we can reach out to each other if we have further questions. So for that one, you're like, yeah, it's probably not you don't need to consider it because the process is in place.
I don't consider either of you.
Well, your handovers are good. Like I always get what I need, I feel. Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, that does make sense. But it's already at that stage.
Yeah.
Because we have considered it. Like the way they're done at the moment has been conversations over time saying, I need this. Like, for example, like put everything into the Google Drive. Everyone has access to all the information, because in the past, I just hold on to everything on my personal drive, give you what I think you need, and maybe forget to give you something. Or maybe you wanted, or I go on holidays and you don't have access to a file, or vice versa there. So when everything is in the shared folder, you know, so we do lessons learned that make sure that we don't have to think, because that's one of the things that we shouldn't have to think about. When we don't have to think about those things, we have more space, it's more peaceful, we can be more creative. Yeah, all that.
Cool. Nice. All right. Well, Kim.
There's a definite like theme playing out, because the question I had.
Same theme.
My question is, what do you think are the specific things that people should do to have effective verbal communication? I might just give some stimulus just to help with things. So maybe you're getting feedback on a task. Maybe it's a handover for a project. Maybe it's we're discussing improvement ideas as a team. Maybe we're just having random chats, catch-ups. When we have those quick phone calls where it is like, can I just borrow you for 15 minutes to check in on that? So if you think about those, what are the things that make it effective communication when it's verbal?
I think like making the time and space to actually have whatever conversation it is, like, and thinking about when you're doing it too. Like the time of day, if they're going to have other stuff on, is it going to be rushed? Like all that kind of thing first of all. Yeah. Like making the space for it. Yeah. And then I think depending what it is, like giving people time to prepare for the verbal communication. Like, are they getting bad feedback? Are they getting good feedback? Is it? Yeah. Are they going to have? Do they need to research and have like questions prepared beforehand? Like, yeah. Making sure they're prepared for what kind of communication there's going to be, because otherwise you'll probably get in there and like babble if you don't know what's unexpected. Yeah. I think. Yeah. Is that kind of what you mean?
Yeah, planning the time, and allowing the right amount of time.
I think also like if there's lots of points to communicate, just like pausing after each point and letting the person like take it in and let you know if they have any questions. Yeah. But sometimes lots of information is communicated, I'm like, oh, what? Like go back to the first thing that you said.
I'm just thinking about this video now. I'm like, oh God, it's been like, bleh. Everyone watching has the responsibility to pause after each sentence.
I think as well, like you can tell when someone's like figured out what questions they're going to ask and they've done the work to get to that point.
What do you mean?
Like
Speaking of effective communication.
yeah. All right, how do I explain this? Rather than like going into a conversation, because I know I've done it if I've been like busy or stressed, I'm like, Vic, jump on a call. And I'm still thinking things through in my head. So I'm like, wait, just like ignore what I just said. Like, and I'm still figuring it out, but I think it's important to like know exactly where you're at and have figured out problems outside of them before you get onto the
I'm guilty of that.
It's like, do I need to be here? Slash like I don't know what you're talking about and you're overwhelming me.
Yeah.
Are you naming anyone specifically?
I'm the one who does it.
I do it as well.
Like, make sure I thought everything through before I talk to someone about something.
Yeah, it's an intentional conversation.
Yeah.
Like, what do you want to get from it, and what questions you need from the person to get there?
What if it's like in the moment reactions where you don't have, because I can definitely think that the planning and the creating the space is really important for it, and then being intentional. What if it's like in the moment where you don't have time to do that?
I think it's like similar to workshops, like not feeling pressured to like, if there's like silence, like just say, just give me a second, I need to process something and then I'll ask you, and just in your head being like, what am I actually trying to figure out? How could they help me solve that? What do I need to ask them to get there? And figuring that out before talking, which is very hard for me.
Just communicate that you don't know, like if it is like a spur of the moment thing and you don't actually know what you need yet, like say, I don't know what I need yet, like we're going to be looking at it together and like figuring it out at the same time. Know that they're not like the person you're trying to explain it to or figure it out with knows they're not expected to like have these answers to something that they know nothing about yet, because like you don't know either. If that makes sense. Like being open about what kind of conversation it is, because I know like we've done it on calls and you've said similar things like I haven't looked at this yet, or like that kind of like sets the expectation for me that like, oh, she's not coming to me to be like, what is like what does this mean, what are you going to do with this? It's like we both are figuring it out. Kind of like sets a different tone, I think, to the
rather than you're expected to figure this out now.
And you might feel better about like asking questions as well. It is all open.
I think maybe like reading body language too, like you said earlier, like if someone's looking confused or like not concentrating, just check in and ask whether they're understanding what you're saying or if something's because I did it today. You started telling me. Vic was telling me something, but I was thinking about like another project. And she's like,
what you're doing right now is your thing. That's when you're like, she can't hold the information in her head. There's too many things. That's what Hannah does. Then you know.
It is like, that's like, I cannot, like, I need a moment. I can't cope with what you're saying. I think I did that to you today. I was like, you need to like start that whole paragraph again.
But I think I said one sentence and she's like, can you repeat that? And I said it, she's like, yeah, I got that. I was like, that's all I've said.
No, you said the second sentence. Oh, I didn't get the second part. But I like that our team can be honest. Like, I feel like if I didn't feel comfortable in the team, I'd just like pretend I'd heard it and then sit there like panicking, being like, what did they ask me to do? But I was like, nah, I have no idea what you just said.
We're also very aware of your panic face. So we don't let that happen, because that just is very painful for us afterwards.
Okay, so is it different to this?
you jig your leg and you kind of go to like a bit stiff, and it's like, hold on, I'm trying to picture it. Don't change it though, because it helps me to help you. You're kind of like do you know what you're like? A balloon where you're holding like the bottom of it so it doesn't go brrr. You're like on the verge of being released as the balloon.
Ever been released?
Only when you get to the point of yourself being like, nah, I need to express this, then you are the balloon released. And they're like, blah, 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 blah. And that's normally when I'm like, I don't need that context, but you needed to express that. So that's all your selfish stuff.
That's your perspective. Hasn't been confirmed. Has it been? Not giving it wrong.
I don't know what else there is.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else. Do you have anything, Kim?
No, they're helpful for me. They're good reminders. I know that my communication is way more effective with you guys if I plan in advance, and create the space for conversations. Like yesterday when I was like, give me the number, Hannah, tell me. It was like fucking Vic's conversation was way more peaceful and enjoyable than me trying to, like, I really wanted to do it. That was the problem. I should have rearranged different time to hold that part of the conversation with you.
Yeah, she was like, give me
because you were a released balloon for the rest of the conversation. You took up too much of my time. No, I'm only messing.
I forgot what the question was. Can you repeat it?
And then she did this one, and then I'm jokes. No, it's prioritizing the time, 100%.
I think I need double the amount of time than Vic, my catch-ups. Just personality styles, you know. Slash needy.
I don't know if that would be a smart business decision. I'm trying to weigh up the cost of sitting in longer conversations with you versus
output you could get from it. Could be good. Could be worth it. Okay, that ends another episode of
Okay. Thanks everyone for listening. Hannah's done.
Question, Kim?
Yes, thank you.
All right, great. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in. Don't forget to check out the Creator Hub. It's in the link below. It makes our life so much easier as instructional designers and e-learning developers, and we know it will for you as well. We've got like a free storyboard template, proposal template, graphic design tips. There's just everything is aligned to you as a instructional designer.
Anything that's caused us pain in the past has been made into a resource that is now available on the Creator Hub, so you don't have to.
Email templates, they're incredible too. But thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you for the next episode.
What's up, awesome human? Thank you on behalf of myself and the Belvista Studios team for continuously choosing to learn with us. We really appreciate it. If the tips and the insights and the context resonate with you and you want to take your skills to the next level, or you want to make your life way easier, you will love our Creator Hub. The Creator Hub is a place for people like you and us. Basically, it's the stuff that we use internally at Belvista Studios, and then we just share it publicly with you. The Creator Hub is created by instructional designers for instructional designers, and what you'll love there at the moment is we've got a quiz, could I be a better instructional designer, that has so much tips in the feedback if you're interested in human-centered design or just taking your skills to the next level in terms of the solutions you're creating, the problems you want to solve. But in there as well, aren't we cute? That's us. But we've got the coaching courses, freebies, give us gratitude, and also we've got some templates. And basically they're always around the lens of learning experience design, instructional design, and e-learning. So a human-centered design focus is very much what we're about at Belvista Studios. So putting your learners at the heart of a solution and creating something for their needs. So there's the human-centered design stuff, and then we've also got the business stuff. So this is the stuff they don't teach you about when you want to become a freelancer or a consultant in the instructional design world. So go check it out. The link is in the description. You can check out everything that is available for you. Thank you for choosing to learn with us. Continuously invest in your skills. You will be rewarded as an instructional designer. Share this stuff, share it with other people, because when we are better instructional designers, we create better solutions that create better humans, that create a better world. So we have a very important role, and I'm excited to be on this journey with you. Have an awesome day.